Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the heartwarming and action-packed ending of Lilo and Stitch 2025. From surprising character returns to emotional goodbyes and that final scene that left us all teary-eyed, or breaking down exactly what it all means for Lilo, Stitch, and the Ohana they've built. So grab your favorite snack and let's jump right into this ending explained. Interesting alterations to the original material are made in the live-action Lilo and Stitch, which strengthens the moral of the tale and modifies it moving forward. The title pair of Lilo and Stitch, which is based on the 2002 movie of the same name, are a little Hawaiian girl and the alien canine she takes in as her dog. While battling the aliens who want to capture Stitch and return him to space, as well as the social services that could keep Lilo from her sister Nani, the two miscreants form a close friendship. Although there are some ingenious additions and significant character changes that affect the plot, Lilo and Stitch's characters are mostly taken from the original movie. One of the new individuals introduces a whole different kind of finale, which is a significant shift to the overall plot. Here are some differences between the 2025 adaptation of Lilo and Stitch and the animated classic, as well as how it lays the groundwork for a possible sequel plot. Thanks to the assistance of several characters unique to this version of the story, the happy ending of Lilo and Stitch ensures that the two sisters remain a significant part of each other's life, even though they are split up. Lilo and Stitch focuses more on Nani's challenges as a guardian of her 6-year-old sister, such as forgoing a full college scholarship to pursue her interests in marine biology. Mrs. Kiko, the social worker, is shown as a very kind and compassionate person who tries her best to help Nani come to terms with the fact that she isn't ready to be Lilo's primary caregiver. That does not, however, imply that they must separate ways. Tutu is a new significant supporting character who is introduced early on as Nani's love interest, David's grandma, and the Pelikai family's neighbor. In addition to providing assistance, she tries her best to keep an eye on Lilo. Tutu has been able to volunteer to be Lilo's foster home before the end of the movie. A stolen alien teleporter even makes it easy for Nani to visit when Lilo and Nani's house has been rebuilt. By the end of the movie, the primary family of Lilo and Stitch is closer than ever despite their separation. Jumba, the talented but perilous scientist who developed Stitch, plays a significant role in both adaptations of Lilo and Stitch. He is dispatched to Earth to get the specimen in both movies. Jumba adapted to Earth and finally joined the extended family in the original animated movie and its spin-offs. But in the live-action movie, Jumba is positioned as the main antagonist and never receives that redemption journey. He is much more malicious in his quest to capture Stitch and never learns to value Earth or Pleakley. This is probably the primary reason Gantu, the antagonist of the first movie, was removed from the new Lilo and Stitch. Jumbo was never going to be a decent man, therefore a second big alien adversary was unnecessary. When it is revealed that Jumba despises the emotional bonds that Stitch has formed with Lilo, he becomes an intriguing enemy. Lilo and Stitch is able to emphasize the film's ideas by recasting the character as more of a villain, emphasizing that emotion, rather than material belongings and flimsy familial ties, is what matters. The conclusion of the two versions of Lilo and Stitch is structurally very similar. In all versions, the Grand Council wanted to confront Stitch and the other humans and permits the commutation of Stitch's exile to Earth. But a lot of small things have changed, like the fact that Tutu is there to give Lilo a more secure home while Nani works for her academic goals. As Tutu and Mrs. Kiko tell Nani that she must prioritize herself, the movie makes it very evident that family doesn't get left behind also applies to self-care. Pleakley keeps his role from the first film and continues to be a member of Lilo and Stitch's adopted family. Agent Bubbles, who is presented in the live-action film as a more realistic CIA agent, is another significant shift. Although the hulking agent was shown to have already made off-screen contact with aliens in the animated movie, his choice to assist Lilo rather than report the aliens is a significant turning point for the character and positions him to become a long-term member of the extended family. These adorable additions give the original film's themes a depth of finding family. With the arcs of Lilo, Stitch, and Nani all concluded, Lilo and Stitch comes to a rather conclusive conclusion. However, the choice to keep Jumba as a villain in the film might easily be used to adapt another franchise entry for a follow-up. Jumba remarks that he will carry out more experiments and try to create an alien that is unable to form emotional bonds after capturing Stitch. Jumba confirms that Stitch was far from his first creation by running through a brief display of his previous experiments on the computer during this procedure. This idea might be explored in greater detail in a follow-up to Lilo and Stitch, possibly even reintroducing Jumba as the mastermind behind this scheme to subdue Stitch. Sue. Many of these additional experiments became the subject of the movie and the follow-up Lilo and Stitch, the series which also finally followed Stitch and crashed on Hawaii. This idea might be explored in greater detail in a follow-up to Lilo and Stitch, possibly even reintroducing Jumba as the mastermind behind this scheme to subdue Stitch. For new fans, this might be a logical method to introduce Stitch's larger supporting cast and to extend the original plot.